Giancarlo. 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 Gian Carlo. Who do you think you are? Who do you honestly think you are? Who in the world do you think you are? I sit here, and I sit here telling you, my friend, I sit here saying, step back for a moment. Step back for a moment and come over to my side. Come over to my side of Christianity. Come over to my side of the spectrum. Giancarlo is being arrogant. Giancarlo is being rude. Giancarlo is making bold statements about the Trinity Broadcasting Network. Giancarlo is making very, almost vulgar statements about the Trinity Broadcasting Network. I can't believe him. Can you believe him? Let me say something. I'd like to say that the Trinity Broadcasting Network is helpful. Giancarlo scoffs. Come over to my side. And jump.
Alright, let me tell you. It's not helpful at all. But there are other channels in which you can watch way better broadcasting and way better Christian television than TBN. TBN is probably the worst station of all time.
Okay, if TBN's the worst station of all time, that means that MTV's better. What's better? WWJD or TRL?
Wait, what?
I'd say the worst station of all time.
The worst station of all time is TBN. Even in comparison to MTV. MTV doesn't know what they do. TBN does.
Oh, touche! MTV is like a blind man.
Yes, that doesn't know where they're going, and TBN has wide open eyes and is like the Pharisees that are wide open and they're leading many people to hell.
It's odd. If the Trinity Broadcasting Network is Christian, why would it lead one to hell?
Well, it's not Christian, it's heretical. It's not Christian at all. I told you that. If that's what you think that that's Christianity, it's not Christianity at all.
The Trinity Broadcasting Network is an association of proclaiming believers in Christ, Giancarlo.
It was awesome that Kirk Cameron was able to unlock Hell's Best Kept Secret on TBN, basically in the pits of hell of TBN, the bottomless pit that Paul Crouch has created, and now is being able to be unlocked and be able to be seen by many, many, probably millions of people throughout the U.S. and other countries as well. So I thought that was very, very awesome, and the word that Marco wanted to use was importunity, or what we would like to call holy boldness, as he preached Hell's Best Kept Secret in hell, basically. And it was good. Marco's got something to say.
Giancarlo, you're very odd. I'll tell you that right now. You said a striking statement. You know what that statement is? From what came across to me, it is this. TBN connotates with hell and sewage. What are you talking about? What are you trying to say? You know what? Some critics of you might just say tui, which is spit. Alright? They might tui in your face. Okay? Maybe it might not be like this.
John goes, Marco, please, the video feed is gone. Video log number 5, and last time you were with us, Marco was speaking about the issue of me and my statement about how TBN correlates with hell. And I do still stand by my statement. It's interesting that it's called TBN, or Trinity Broadcasting Network, but they have people that don't believe in the Trinity there, or that believe that there's 9 persons in the Godhead. Unbelievable, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? That Marco would keep moving that camera around is still unbeknownst to me. But let's go back to the TBN issue. There's people on that show that consider themselves God, co-equal with God, and I'm just glad someone is finally able to preach a very good message on there. It's worth delivering. It's worth listening to. And where can we find this preaching? TBN. Hell.
You can find hell in TBN.
Yeah. They don't use the word hell. They don't preach about hell. Hold on now. Hold down now.
I don't agree with Giancarlo.
I've heard them. Some say it, but only Ray Comfort and Kirk Cameron.
Giancarlo, you said they don't preach about hell on TBN. What you're saying is not true. This is because TBN has accepted the Way of the Master ministry, for one. And who are you to say that nobody speaks about hell in another sense besides the Way of the Master? Have you watched TBN enough to say that there is no mention of hell on TBN?
Oh, they mention it, but not in the biblical representation of what hell is like. So that's just my opinion. But people have different opinions. People have different opinions, and that's just mine. So Um, but yes, I've been doing some cross-examining of them TBN preachers, and cross-examination. Hank Hanegraaff did a very, very good little CD thing, tape series called I think it was called Christianity in Crisis, or either that was Dave Hunt. Dave Hunt did a really good thing, and they were just talking about how Benny Hinn. They were quoting Benny Hinn, and it actually has the audio quotes of Benny Hinn talking about that he believes that there's 9 persons in the Godhead. There's other places that it says that he believes himself to be God as well. Kenneth Hagin said the same thing. So did Frederick Price.
You know what? I've seen some of these preachers that you're talking about. And I don't think that you're representing them right. I say you're misrepresenting the preachers that you speak of. I say you haven't listened to them close enough. I say you need to listen to one of their messages in full and review it and compare it to what you've heard what the TBN criticism had to say. And I say that you need to rethink your thing, because TBN's out here coming forth and saying, look at you, Catholic, look at you. And it's saying, hey, Catholic, come over here, come over here, come over here. Just you too, you, whoever you are, I don't care, come over here, come over here. You too, you, what? What's your name? What's your name? Kirk Cameron? You definitely come over here. What's your name? Ray Comfort? You can come along too. What's your name? Kenneth Hagin? Who are you? Oh, come over here. What's your name? Frederick Price? How long have you been in the ministry? Come over here. What's your name? Come over here. What's your name? Come over here. Rabbi? Come over here. Huh? Come over here. Politician? Come over here. Hooty Wuddy? Come over here. What's your name? Come over here. What's your name? Come over here. So what I'm presenting to you is that TBN is bringing forth a large, may I say, very large, may I say, TBN is presenting a spectrum of Christianity. May I say that TBN is making it very possible for you to step in a church without actually going there. May I say that TBN is being unbiased. May I say that TBN is presenting Christianity. May I say that the Trinity Broadcasting Network is doing a good job.
I obviously disagree with that, but we have our differing opinions, and I just don't think that. Basically, I'm ashamed of TBN. Because it represents Christianity in a really, really, really bad way. Other than, probably Ray Comfort and all the other guys, the good guys on there. But they, plus they don't run in the whole gamut of false preachers and false prophets that are on that show. And what I see on TBN wouldn't necessarily be Christianity. It would be something very fallen and apostate Christianity, apostate church. So, if that's what you want Christianity to be, then I don't want any part of it. But I'm glad that, like I said, Ray Comfort and Kirk Cameron are on that. So, that's just me.
I'm from the side that wasn't introduced to the way of the Master Ministries until TBN presented it. You work for Living Waters. How does that make you feel?
it makes me feel like you should have got a tape or a CD before that.
Why didn't I?
Because there's a lot of false doctrine out there anyways, and I mean, the watered down gospel's everywhere, and so it's hard to get good stuff. That's like saying TBN did good when if Leonard Ravenhill preached on there, which he probably would have never done it. But um, and just because you didn't find it doesn't mean that who presents it to you. I mean, some crack addict could have gave you a CD, and by God's providence, that's a good thing. But the crack addict isn't good. Providence? Providence is God's sovereign guidance to where you need to get something. So, anyways, if you would have got the CD from a crack addict, that would have been good. But the crack addict isn't good. And the same thing with TBN. TBN might have brought forth Hell's Best Kept Secret, but no, he didn't bring it forth. He was just a carrier. And TBN is like a crack addict who gives you Hell's Best Kept Secret. So watch out for crack addicts on Channel 40.
Hey, are you willing to be on TBN?
No.
What if Paul Crouch was here and he asked you, Mr. What's your name? Mr. J? Would you be on my television show? What would you say?
Hell no. I've been on TBN before, and I'm very ashamed of it, and I wish I would have gone back and not have ever done anything on that thing ever.
Explain that.
Explain what?
How were you on TBN?
Well, I was on this one stupid show called What Would Jesus Do TV, and it was through Harvest. Video log number 7. As I was saying in the last video log, I was on TBN on this foolish show called What Would Jesus Do TV, and it was probably the dumbest show I've ever been on. And I very much regret it, and I very much regret it. So that's just me. And I don't know why Marco went out of the room laughing hysterically. But it's probably because I'm at a weird angle or something. I don't know what it is. But anyways, What Would Jesus Do TV? Right. Okay, so as I was saying, the show was very ridiculous. It had nothing to do with what Jesus would do.
How so?
Um,
Give me an example of why it was ridiculous.
well, it was dumb. It was just,
What did they say?
it was fake, and
Why was it fake?
because it was all a show, a sham, had nothing to do with reality.
Why? What
Because they all, I remember my youth pastor and the leader of the thing trying to help us make up stories. Can you let me finish? Having to help us to make up stories about certain questions and these talk show things and foolishness. And I largely very much regret it. So I say don't go on there. I also went on the video game, whatever thing. It was foolish. Virtual memory. And that was kind of a joke.
Why?
Just 'cause it was all planned out before. It was all planned out before. And it was just silliness. It had nothing to do with true Christianity. So, I don't know what to tell you. Can you stop changing that thing?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm done speaking.
Has TBN done anything good?
Absolutely not.
You scoff. You scoffer. What a scoffer you are. What a... Has it? Absolutely not. I submit that it has. What is your reasoning?
I told you my reasonings already. Show me one good thing they've done.
I already mentioned one. Can you remember?
No.
Do you think Hell's Best Kept Secret is good?
Yes. But Hell's Best Kept Secret is on other stations. I would urge everyone to not watch Channel 40 anymore and go to the other stations.
That's a stupid thing to say.
Why?
It is a stupid claim, may I say, Giancarlo, because you're saying don't watch that channel.
Amen.
What happens if I just learned English? I haven't had the other TBN languages translated in my language. Just started watching TBN. The first thing I flip on the station is the HBKS. What's today's date?
2/10/06.
You're right. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. What a comparison. What a bold comparison. I've never heard that comparison before. Wow. I've certainly heard hesitance to such things, but such a plain thing to say is very striking. It would stop me in my tracks, and it would make me scratch my head. Just like that. You know what, Giancarlo? I'm willing to say that TBN is okay.
Sorry, I just made a funny face. Now, the statement was funny too, um, but my face was funnier. Um, it's not okay. It's not okay for crack addicts to sell crack.
Stop looking at yourself.
It's not okay for crack addicts to sell crack. Would you agree with that? Yes or no? Say yes or no. Say yes or no. Just say yes or no. Hold the mic. No, say it.
The statement is true.
Okay, so if a crack addict gave you hell's best kept secret, would that be good?
YESS.
It would be good for a crack addict to give him hell's best kept secret. But now, is the crack addict good?
No.
What is good? Hell's best kept secret? Yes or no?
Uh-huh.
So, you can see that the crack addict is still bad and the hell's best kept secret is still good. So, therefore, comparing TBN to a crack addict who sells crack on Channel 40 and then just happens to one day gives you a hell's best kept secret. The hell's best kept secret is good, but the crack addict still remains really, 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 really hot, dumb, and bad, and not good at all. So I rest my case. Simple as that. It's like atheist preaching the gospel and someone getting saved. The salvation's good. The gospel's good. But the atheist is still depraved, lost, apostate, dumb, blind, foolish. And that's what TBN's kind of like. I don't know if you would agree with me on that, but I definitely think that. It reminds me of the late Ravenhill and the late Keith Green, when to pass on the next generation, you know, God brought Keith Green and Leonard Ravenhill together, and that's kind of that's how it is with Ray Comfort and Kirk Cameron. So, I like also the fact that Kirk Cameron has a lot of adopted kids, and that's really cool because the church needs to go back to adoption.
It is good.